The sounds of spring. One thing, after 5 years in Spain, into our 6th year, I never thought I would miss. Because we've never needed to miss it, to be honest. And considering the weather over the last couple of weeks. Now, this isn't a complaint about the weather on this video. Let's put that out there right at the beginning. This is a complaint about being able to dry your clothes. And one of the craziest things I never thought I would say. I miss a tumble dryer. Yep, I've had to come to a laundrette this morning just to get some clothes dry. You've got clothes hanging in the house for ages and they're just not getting dried. Now look at this. The beach. Jeez. It's been absolutely decimated down here as well. Wow. Look how much. I mean, I could... Oh, Jesus. Well, if I go down there, I'll not get back up. I can go over at the rocks. Listen, there's this guy walking along. You see how much of the sand has been taken away. And he's going to have to climb up. Now, this used to be a gentle... I mean, all the sand's just covered in stones, and you know, there's what the sand should look like. There's what the beach should look like. Instead, it's covered in stones, it's been chopped away, and decimated. Jeez, look over there. Anyway. Crazy, isn't it? And the weather today looks as if... I'm only at Torres Costa, by the way, just in case anyone knows. People were asking the restaurant, it's just along there. Media Cana it's called, I think. But I will put it up. The weather. So it looks like we're going to have rain again this afternoon. And what home comforts do you miss? What home comforts do you miss from your home country? I generally don't miss anything. Maybe the odd tortoise scone, maybe square sausage, maybe really good quality square sausage or something. But no, don't generally miss anything. But I never thought, as the rain's about to come back on, I never thought I'd say that I missed a tumble dryer. Because even in December, January, February, March, you never need a tumble dryer. But with the weather that we've been having, I've popped along. I was coming along here anyway, so I thought I'm going to take some washing and just put it in the tumble dryer, get it dried. Crazy, isn't it? I'll tell you one thing though, it is one of the best little businesses to have because it's just a tiny little place. The rent can't be too high on it. You've got a couple of dryers, a couple of washing machines. It's cash only. You come around every night, I don't know, maybe 2 or 3 times a week, empty the cash out. Bob's your uncle again. There's that Bob's your uncle again. Nice little business to have. Never thought about that before. Not that I would have one of them, but yeah. Nice little cash rich business. I do keep getting drawn to this area because they've got fantastic gardens right on the beach, and the properties they're really nice, not too high, and there's a couple of nice little tapas bars. It's got everything you want right on the beach. You know, greenery, grass, no football, no dogs. Well, grass. I'd say it's more weeds than grass. I don't think the gardener has been paying too much attention to the grass, but anyway, yeah, it is nice and green. Things that you miss, things that I've missed over the years, definitely greenery. But anyway, I just wish the weather would just get it over and done with. I'm done with this now. Come on, get back to... I'd rather 40-degree heat. Anyway, nice little bar here. It's as if it's shut for the winter. And then there is another one. This one's open all year round, although it was closed in January for a couple of weeks. Nice little tapas bar. It's not about heaven, isn't it? That's all you need, the wee tapas bar. Shops up round the corner, and then a bit of greenery outside and beach. Fantastic. Perfect. Easy way, €4. 20 minutes later, closed dry. Rain's coming on, pissing down again. Currently in the Mercadona. I just remembered last night that we met a guy who owns a bar in Torrox, and they do a lot of Thai food. And you always wonder when it's not a Thai restaurant and they do Thai food. But the woman is actually from Thailand, and she cooks the way that her mum used to cook. And the food is absolutely amazing. So we're going to be trying that out. So make sure that you check out that video. She's off for about another week, and then when she's back at work, we're going to try it. Something a little bit different for this part of the video, because there's quite a bit of important news that I want to get over today. One's about the Schengen visa update. The EU plans to extend the 90-day rule. Not for you though, because you're not good enough. Hi. You want to come in the video?
No, I've got work to do.
Yeah, that's it. Anyway, the digital visas attraction. What do you think of that?
Yeah. It was quite an interesting article.
It's about time it came in, didn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is what I do when I wake up in the morning. I read the local Spanish news.
Yeah, that's it. Anyway, the digital visas, talented attraction and targeting measures to shape Europe's new visa policy. The European Commission has announced plans to allow certain non-EU professionals, people from the UK, people from America, Canada, etc., to travel the EU longer. Now, the skills that workers are required to have as a non-EU resident, and to make it easier to make them come and work in the EU, are people like artists, touring artists, DJs. I've got a friend who is the DJ who moved to Amsterdam, and he's found it easier to move about. And there's I know people that, for DJs that are back home, that are saying that they don't get the gigs now. They can't. They have to pick and choose. They can't do festivals. And at the end of the day, those are people that need to be able to travel around the EU to basically get their work done, don't they? And athletes competing in sports events, experts in cross-border projects, personnel supporting EU industries and services, truck drivers servicing EU businesses. That's an interesting one, because in another article, British how much was the British farming industry down? 37% on selling goods to the EU. Some people think the Brexit's a great thing. Tell me in the comments if you do or not. I won't read them after that, because it'll be all mayhem. Anyway, if you're an artist, if you're an athlete, if you're an expert in cross-border projects, if you're a workforce supporting EU industries and services, or if you're a truck driver from the UK servicing EU businesses, the 90-day limit could be changing for you now. Everyone knows how bad the weather has been over here, with relentless storms. Malaga dams have been forced to release water as reservoirs reach safety limits following the storm Leonardo. 5 of the province's reservoirs now proactively discharging water to prevent overflows as storage levels surge towards 500 million cubic meters. It's almost like Scotland. And I shouldn't really joke, because there are villages, and we'll go into that in a minute. And apologies if anybody was offended by that. It's almost like Scotland. But anyway, most of the reservoirs supplying the Costa del Sol were having to release water this week for safety reasons, as rainwater flowed straight off already saturated ground into the upland rivers that feed there, with Storm Leonardo hitting the mountainous areas, especially in the west of the Malaga province. Memories of the days, engineers have faced the challenge of maintaining safety margins to ensure that the dam does not overflow, while trying to preserve the amount of water stored throughout this drought-prone area. Now, the safety margins that the reservoirs have officially, it's crazy because um, the Western Costa del Sol was at 19%. It's only got 19% now capacity to play with. As soon as it reaches 81% capacity for safety reasons, and due to the next storm that's coming in, and they're having to release water. Some of them have this is overall 7 reservoirs across the province were around 80% capacity last week, compared to 45% in November. Wow. That's crazy when you think of it like that. Now, on the downside of all this rain, there's Andalusian villages have been evacuated as residents now fear for their home. There's one town in particular in Cadiz, the province, that's been worst hit. It's been shown on TV, and there's one village after 250 residents in the Cadiz province have been given shelter in a sports centre by day and by night, and an elderly home in Ronda, Malaga, has also been evacuated for safety. Apart from the flooding, the main cause of concern is landslides and collapsing walls. One of the residents says he woke up in the middle of the night, a loud noise that made him think that the house had fallen apart. There is also the accumulation of huge amounts of water under a village, which makes the house shake and the water come through the electrical sockets. Feels like an earthquake. In addition, the rocks in the area are made of limestone, and it's just like cheese, isn't it? Lets it seep right through the water. So we do think of all the people, all the flooding victims, because it is going to get worse again. Although I'm looking out the window just now and it's nice and sunny this Sunday morning. It is 9:45 as I'm recording this. It's you've got to say, you feel for everyone that does and has been affected by this crazy, crazy amount of rain that we have had, and everyone that I speak to, I mean, every Spanish person I've spoken to says this is not normal. And the stats are there. The fact that the dams have went from 45% capacity to 80% since November. It's just bonkers. But anyway, that's it for this video. It's just a top up from the video from yesterday. I was meant to go back out filming yesterday afternoon, but we forgot, and we got busy. We were watching TV and sports and stuff, but as we do, just living life, stuff that you don't see on YouTube. On that note, have an absolutely amazing day. Hasta luego.